All right, Cancer, let's get into your reading. The moment I spread these cards open, a private confession poured into this reading immediately. This energy arrived carrying a pressure behind it, and it vibrates with words already spoken aloud. You were the subject of a conversation behind a closed door, and nothing was held back. This person reached the edge of holding it inside, and they broke their silence with a friend. The first card is the Eight of Wands, and it confirms that private truth is traveling fast. They chose the one person they could trust, and they released every buried feeling at once. Your name left their mouth with visible weight, and that act shattered the wall they built. Their friend noticed a shift in their voice because this person described you with raw emotion. What came out was not polished or rehearsed. It was suppressed honesty, crashing through all at once. That friend stopped everything to listen closely because the intensity of those words demanded full attention. They described a pull toward you that baffled them, and saying it aloud made it terrifyingly real. The second card is the Ace of Cups, and it reveals a raw emotional beginning now exposed. Their confession included quiet moments between you, things that seemed ordinary but stayed engraved inside them. They spoke about the way you made them feel, and their friend knew this was not temporary. This person revealed the war they fought internally, trying to dismiss a bond that refused to fade. The message flooding this spread is unmistakable. They told their best friend, and truth approaches you now. This was not surface level venting between friends. It was an unburdening that reshapes an entire path. You may have felt a strange heaviness lately, and that invisible pressure connects to their confession directly. Their friend asked pointed questions after hearing it, and this person answered without hesitation or filter. Every honest answer pulled them deeper into exposure, and by the end, they felt raw but relieved. The third card is the Six of Swords, and it marks a crossing that cannot be reversed. By speaking your name with that much vulnerability, this person crossed a permanent threshold inside themselves. Their closest friend became a living witness, and witnesses transform the rules of any hidden connection. The universe positioned that friend with intention because this truth needed a human vessel to carry. You were not inventing the pull toward them, and a real person outside of this bond confirmed it. Something you quietly wished for in private moments has already been activated by their choice to speak. Their friend looked at them with brand new eyes because what was described carried undeniable emotional depth. This confession now owns a momentum of its own, and no amount of regret can retrieve those words. The cards keep stacking confirmation upon confirmation, and each layer tells me this reaches you very soon. Their friend will carry what they heard forever because that level of honesty transforms a person permanently. What unfolded in that private room already shifted things, and you will feel that shift arriving directly. This truth refuses to sit quietly behind a door. It is actively finding its own path toward you. The timing of this reading is not accidental at all, because the universe wanted you prepared before arrival. Their words already escaped the walls they were spoken in, and nothing has the power to recall them. You feel it in your body that something moved recently, and that knowing is never wrong about bonds. A door opened the second their confession left that room, and it swings only in your direction now. Whatever they contained for months finally broke free, and freedom always finds the person it belongs to. The energy pouring through these cards is undeniable, and it all points to one destination, which is you. Trust the pull you have been feeling in your chest, because it responds to a confession already released. Hold your position and stay open to what comes, because the proof your spirit asked for is sent. The energy shifts now toward your side of this bond, and I need to speak directly to you. You have been holding something heavy in your chest, and you stopped telling anyone about it. The Queen of Swords appears first, and it mirrors the guard you built around your emotions tightly. You taught yourself to function without showing pain, and that discipline became your daily invisible armor. There were nights you replayed entire conversations, searching for hidden clues you might have missed. You questioned whether this connection was real, and that doubt became a constant, quiet companion inside. Part of you wanted to reach out directly, but pride wrapped itself around your voice every time. You rehearsed words that never actually left you, and unspoken sentences grew heavier with each passing week. The Four of Cups arrives second here, and it captures the emotional withdrawal you chose on purpose. You convinced yourself that distance was protection, but underneath that wall, your feelings only grew louder. There were moments you almost broke your silence, and something invisible pulled you back every single time. You noticed signs that confused you deeply, and you filed them away instead of confronting their meaning. Your body responded to this connection physically, and you tried to rationalize every sensation as nothing real. You caught yourself thinking about this person randomly, during tasks that had nothing to do with them. The Nine of Pentacles lands third in this spread, and it reflects the independence you turned into walls. You kept yourself busy on purpose to avoid stillness, because sitting quietly forced you to feel everything. You told yourself if it was real, it would come, without requiring any effort or vulnerability from you. That belief protected you for a while inside, but lately the safety started resembling a locked cage. You scrolled past things that reminded you of them, and your hand paused before you forced it forward. The ache you carry is not weakness. It is proof that something genuine still lives beneath your calm. You doubted yourself more than once about this, and each doubt carved a quiet scar you stopped counting. Your intuition kept whispering that this was different, but logic overruled it with practiced, steady resistance. You protected yourself so thoroughly that even you forgot. The armor was never built to stay permanent. The star reversed appears as the fourth card, and it exposes the hope you buried under heavy caution. That hope never vanished from inside your body. It simply learned to breathe quietly beneath your awareness. You trained your face to reveal nothing at all, but your chest always told a completely different story. A version of you already knows the full truth, and she has been waiting for permission to surface. You are not confused about what lives inside you. You are afraid of what admitting it would change. Your silence was never rooted in indifference at all. It was a scream you swallowed every single morning. What you buried did not dissolve over time. It became something permanent and fossilized inside your ribcage. The cards confirm your instincts were right along, and the proof of that is heading in your direction. You kept your composure while everything underneath trembled, and that strength deserves more credit than you allowed. A part of you exhaled while reading this, because finally your experience is being named out loud. You stopped expecting anything from this connection ago, and that resignation became a wound you stopped treating. The walls you built looked impressive from outside, but from within, they always felt more like a tomb. Something in your energy already shifted before this, and the cards are simply confirming what you already felt. You gave yourself no room to be soft, and that toughness cost you more than you ever measured. Each card here points directly back to you and says your patience was never wasted or invisible. Stay grounded in what your body keeps telling you, because that physical knowing has never been wrong before. The confirmation you needed is closer than you realize, and it carries the weight of everything you suppressed. The cards pull me into their world now, and what lives on their side carries a trembling weight. This person has not slept properly in weeks, and their nights belong to thoughts of you entirely. The moon reversed appears first, and it exposes the internal chaos they have been masking from everyone. They built a version of themselves that looks composed, but behind that mask, everything is unraveling quietly. Their friends noticed a shift in them lately, and that is exactly what led to the confession. They never planned to tell their friend anything, but your name escaped their mouth before they caught it. Pretending around you became physically unbearable, and their body started rejecting the performance they maintained. They replayed your last interaction obsessively alone, and each replay revealed something they had missed before. The Knight of Cups arrives second, and it confirms they are being led entirely by emotion right now. They stopped trying to logic their way past you, because every rational argument collapsed under what they felt. Their friend saw the expression on their face and knew immediately this was not a passing interest. They admitted you occupy a permanent space inside them, and removing you would mean erasing part of themselves. This person has been terrified of your rejection, and that fear paralyzed every move they considered making. They wrote messages to you that were never sent, and each deleted draft bruised their pride deeply. The Ten of Wands lands third, and it shows the emotional load they carried alone far too long. They exhausted themselves pretending this was manageable, and the truth is, it stopped being manageable months ago. Their friend asked why they never told you, and the honest answer was that they felt completely undeserving. They believed you existed on a level above them, and that belief kept them frozen in quiet admiration. This person watched you from a careful distance always, and every observation deepened what they already carried. They memorized details about you without being told, things picked up simply by paying very close attention. Their confession was not about finding relief inside. It was about finally hearing their own truth spoken aloud. They needed a witness because the feeling grew too large, and carrying it alone started affecting their life. The Two of Cups appears fourth, and it reveals the partnership energy they sense existing between you both. They do not view you as temporary or replaceable. They see you as an answer they stopped seeking. Their friend urged them to act before time ran out, and that advice landed heavier than anything expected. They know this opening will not stay available forever, and that urgency cracked their silence wide apart. This person rehearsed how to approach you privately, and every version felt too small for what they feel. They are terrified that you moved on without them, and that terror fuels every single restless, sleepless night. Their energy in this spread is not casual. It is dense with intention and saturated with raw longing. They decided internally that you are the one, and that decision was made long before the confession happened. Their friend confirmed what they secretly already knew, that hiding was slowly destroying them from the inside. This person carries your presence like a pulse, and it beats louder every time they try ignoring it. They reached the point where pretending costs them more than whatever vulnerability honesty would actually require. The cards reveal their side with undeniable clarity, and every card speaks the same truth without exception. They are moving toward you whether ready or not, because the confession unlocked a door that stays open. Whatever hesitation lived inside them before is dissolving, and what remains is raw need to reach you directly. Their next move forms in their mind tonight, and it carries the weight of everything they confessed. This person cannot go backward to who they were, because the act of speaking changed them permanently inside. Stay present in this energy without doubting yourself, because their side of the story matches everything you felt. The energy turns now toward what must happen next, and the cards lock into pure action. This is no longer about feelings sitting idle inside walls. It is about movement already triggered. The Chariot appears first, and it demands forward motion with no hesitation and no retreat. You need to stop waiting for a perfect moment to arrive, because your overthinking already killed it. The action required from you is not dramatic. It is the quiet choice to stop retreating. Drop the armor you have been wearing around this, and let your real response be visible. Their confession already broke the seal on silence, and your step is to meet that openly. You do not need a grand speech or a show. You need one honest sentence without rehearsal. Stop scanning for guarantees before you let yourself. Respond to what your body keeps saying. The cards say your hesitation has served its purpose, and pausing further will cost the opening. The Wheel of Fortune arrives second in this spread, and it confirms timing is collapsing fast. A window appeared the moment their words left that room, and it carries an invisible expiration. You are being called to trust your gut fully now and silence your inner critic to move. Respond to the next signal they send without editing and let your raw reaction speak alone. The universe does not reward perfection in these moments. It rewards the person brave enough to appear. Their friend planted urgency inside them with that talk, and your response determines what grows from it. Do not rehearse what you plan to say to them, because rehearsed words feel hollow to everyone. The action these cards demand is emotional availability, not a declaration, but a softening they perceive. Let them see the version of you before the walls, the one who felt things without calculating. Strength appears as the third card in this spread, and it says, real courage looks like vulnerability. You have been controlling this connection from a distance, and that control blocks its entire progress. Release the grip you hold on the outcome tonight and allow this bond to breathe without management. Their next move depends on what they sense from you, and currently they sense a locked door. Unlock it without making an announcement about it, and let them discover the shift through energy. The cards are not telling you to chase or pursue. They ask you to simply stop running away. Every wall still standing between you two served fear, and fear has been the loudest voice here. Quiet that voice long enough to take one step and watch how quickly the distance closes between you. You already know what that step looks like inside, and the cards confirm it matches what they need. Act before logic returns and rebuilds the barriers, because this opening lives in a narrow emotional window. The proof you want lives on the other side of one single brave action taken without a script. Move toward this with your full chest exposed tonight, and trust that their side already reaches for yours. Your stillness was wise for a season of healing, but the season changed, and movement is now required. One message or one glance without your usual guard is all the universe needs to bridge this gap. The cards built this entire reading toward this moment, and your next move is what writes the ending. Do not let another week pass in comfortable distance, because comfort became the cage holding you both. Step forward with everything you have been guarding inside, and let the truth of this bond finally breathe. Their confession cracked the ground beneath the old pattern, and your action is what builds the new one. This window will not send a second invitation to you, and the cards are clear about that timeline. Show up as the version of you that feels most, and let that feeling be your only compass. You waited long enough to confirm this is real, and your next breath should carry pure action. The entire spread points toward one undeniable instruction, and that instruction is to move now, without delay. The cards shift into a rarely opened space, and what hides here was never meant to stay buried. This person carries confessions beneath their confessions, and even their best friend did not hear all of it. The first card is the High Priestess, and she guards the layer of truth that words cannot reach. What they told their friend was only the surface, because the deeper admission terrified them beyond language. They did not confess the full scope of it because naming it completely would have broken them apart. A version of their feelings only exists at night, when every distraction finally goes quiet around them. In that silence, they imagine a life beside you, and those visions are detailed beyond anything casual. They pictured waking beside you on ordinary mornings, and that image felt more real than anything external. This person rehearsed conversations with you in their head that went places they would never say aloud. They imagined telling you everything without a single guard, and in those fantasies, you always understood them. The hidden confession beneath the spoken one is this: they already see you as belonging to their future. They kept that part from their friend entirely because it sounded too permanent for something this early. The cards do not lie about what lives underneath, and underneath is a decision already firmly made. The Devil reversed arrives second, and it reveals the obsessive pull they absolutely refuse to name aloud. They are consumed by thoughts of you that scare them, and that consumption has no off switch. They catch themselves checking for signs of you everywhere, in songs and in strangers and passing phrases. This person assigned meaning to things you said casually, and those words became sacred texts inside them. They memorized the sound of your laugh without trying, and it plays on a loop without control. The confession their friend received was the edited version, stripped of the parts that felt too exposed. What they kept hidden is that they chose you already, and that choosing happened before they even realized. They fear the depth of what they carry inside would overwhelm you if you ever saw it fully. So they measured their words carefully in that moment, and even then their friend could see the flood. The Seven of Cups reversed arrives third here, and it confirms they stopped entertaining any other option. Every other possibility faded the moment you became real, and now their mind refuses to consider alternatives. They compared every interaction to what they feel with you, and nothing survived that comparison intact. This person deleted old conversations to stop the rereading, but the words stayed memorized inside their body. They physically ache when too much time passes without contact, and they disguise that ache as being busy. The hidden truth beneath every surface layer is simple. They belong to you, and they know it completely. Their friend sensed the restraint during that conversation clearly and asked what they were still holding back. This person paused before answering that question carefully, and then said nothing because the truth was too large. What they swallowed in that pause was a declaration, one that exists fully formed inside their chest. They are not wondering whether they want you. That question was answered silently a very long time ago. The only question remaining for them is whether you could ever feel the same depth they carry. That uncertainty is the final lock on their truth, and it is the only thing keeping them away. You are not crazy for sensing something larger beneath this, because what lives beneath their words dwarfs them. Their body already confessed what their mouth could not, and you felt it without needing any words. The cards confirm nothing about their hidden feelings faded. Every single thread grew stronger with each silence. What they buried is not gone or reduced. It is the most alive part of them right now. Stay open to receiving what they could not speak, because that unspoken truth is searching for you tonight. The energy shifts now into what is arriving, and the near future carries real weight in this spread. Temperance reversed appears first, and it warns that the balance between you two is about to crack. Within the next few weeks, a direct message arrives, and it will not come wrapped in casual words. This person will reach out in a way that feels new, and you will recognize the shift instantly. Their tone will carry the residue of that confession, and you will hear vulnerability beneath every word. The Page of Wands arrives second, and it confirms a bold first move heading straight toward you. Expect a conversation that strips the pretending away and leaves both of you standing in raw honesty. The timing of that contact will feel almost supernatural because it aligns with something you already sensed. What follows that first reach will accelerate quickly, and the slow pace you knew before will dissolve. Their friend may play a quiet role in connecting things, and that involvement will feel natural, not forced. You will not need to decode what they say, because for once, their meaning will be completely bare. The ground between you two is shifting beneath the surface, and both of you will feel it simultaneously. My advice through these cards is clear tonight. Do not rehearse your response when that moment comes. Let your body answer before your mind builds walls, because your first instinct will be the honest one. Do not punish them for the time they took, because that delay carried its own suffering, you understand. Receive what they bring without measuring it against expectations, and let the connection define itself without pressure. Protect your energy, but do not weaponize your guard, because guarding and blocking are not the same thing. Allow yourself to be surprised by how natural it feels when the walls finally come down between you. The World appears as the final card tonight, and it confirms a completed cycle, opening something entirely new. Trust the process, even when it moves faster than comfort, because comfort was never the goal of this. The message through this entire reading was unmistakable. They told their best friend the truth about you. What they released in that private room is alive, and it is actively traveling in your direction now. Words spoken behind a closed door will reach you, and when they do, everything between you shifts forever. The cards tonight told a complete and undeniable story, from confession to hidden depths to approaching action. Every card confirmed that this connection is not imagined, and the feelings on both sides run equally deep. This spread moved from their truth into your truth, and then merged them into one clear direction. You came into this reading carrying doubt inside you, and you leave it with confirmation in your hands. Whatever you felt before pressing play was fully accurate, and the cards honored that with every single pull. You deserve a love that requires no convincing, and what approaches you already decided that on its own. This is not the ending of your story here. It is the opening of something you both earned. Your patience was not wasted or your silence ignored. Everything you held was being matched quietly in return. The weight you carried alone served you well, and now you can finally set part of it down. Something beautiful forms just beyond your current view, and the cards promise you it is real this time. You walked through every part of this reading bravely, and that courage will be rewarded very soon. Your heart already knows what the mind still questions, and the cards sided with your heart every time. Nothing you felt was exaggerated or invented inside you, and this reading exists to confirm exactly that. Thank you for trusting me with something this personal, and for staying open long enough to receive it. I appreciate you being here through every single part, and I hope this resonated deeply inside your spirit. Carry this reading gently with you into the night, because what belongs to you is already coming. You are seen and felt and chosen beyond question, and nothing about that truth will change with time. And the near future carries real weight in this spread. Temperance reversed appears first, and it warns that the balance between you two is about to crack. Within the next few weeks, a direct message arrives, and it will not come wrapped in casual words. This person will reach out in a way that feels new, and you will recognize the shift instantly. Their tone will carry the residue of that confession, and you will hear vulnerability beneath every word. The Page of Wands arrives second, and it confirms a bold first move heading straight toward you. Expect a conversation that strips the pretending away and leaves both of you standing in raw honesty. The timing of that contact will feel almost supernatural because it aligns with something you already sensed. What follows that first reach will accelerate quickly, and the slow pace you knew before will dissolve. Their friend may play a quiet role in connecting things, and that involvement will feel natural, not forced. You will not need to decode what they say, because for once, their meaning will be completely bare. The ground between you two is shifting beneath the surface, and both of you will feel it simultaneously. My advice through these cards is clear tonight. Do not rehearse your response when that moment comes. Let your body answer before your mind builds walls, because your first instinct will be the honest one. Do not punish them for the time they took, because that delay carried its own suffering, you understand.